Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and we got the patch notes for the upcoming Warriors of the Sky plus Miles Morales update. Things are looking shitty. Gonna be straight up with you guys. I'm not liking what I see. High key contender for worst update of the year. Now, before we get into the patch notes, I just really quickly want to cover. I got a few messages from people who were saying that I was flip-flopping because originally I made a video saying I was excited that 2 free-to-play characters, Shadow Shell and War Tiger, and now Miles Morales, so 3 free-to-play characters, were getting reworks. And then later I made a video where I was frustrated because the key art didn't even feature Miles Morales, and the key art did feature Sunbird and Blue Dragon, which really seemed tone deaf. 2 things can be true at the same time, guys. 2 things can be true at the same time, right? I slept with your mother. I don't want to be your father, right? Two of the that's a joke. 2 of these things can be true at the same time. So I will be happy if all players in the game get 3 new, strong, free-to-play characters that they can upgrade. Shadow Shell, War Tiger, Miles Morales. At the same time, I think this update has the possibility of being the worst update of the year. The devs actually have to, I think already, the devs have to change something in these patch notes big time. And I'm very disappointed that they try to pass some bullshit off on us. There's a lot of like BS stuff. They're gonna be like, what? They did what? That's going to be your reaction to this update. Shadow Shell is becoming a speed type. She's remaining a superhero, but yeah, she is becoming a speed type. You're still going to have to use universal tier 4 books if you want to tier 4 her, just to highlight that. But she's basically going to function as a speed tier 4, which is a very, it's actually kind of good, because then you don't use speed books for tier 4, and we'll talk about why that's actually important, why you're going to want to save your speed books in just a little bit. As far as her rework goes, it doesn't look very impressive on paper, so hopefully it will be more impressive in the damage. She does have a 50% proc here. She does have a 25% heal on Finality Mist, and she has invisibility with ignore targeting for 4 seconds. So that's kind of cool. That's not iframe. That's not iframe ignore. That means that she just ignores. She has iframe for 4 seconds and invisibility. And then she has a 1.2 accumulation here with invincibility. But yeah, honestly, this doesn't look too impressive. She has a VPAT skill, which I always love, but we'll have to wait and see how she performs. She doesn't look that impressive on paper, like I said. War Tiger seems to be the character that they're designing to be more of the third link for a Warriors of the Sky PvP team with Blue Dragon and of course Sunbird. So they give him chain hit, guaranteed crit rate, damage reduction, super armor all defense, skill damage bonus damage. His third skill now has ignore targeting. It's not a counter attack skill, but it has ignore targeting. It has incapacitation, which is very important for PvP. And then it's got a 30% chance to penetrate, which is very low, but okay, with 5 seconds of immunity. And then he has a pretty fat frenzy buff with 55 all attack, all defense, and 35 crit rate. And then he's got the 15% HP and the 5 seconds of invincibility. War Tiger looks pretty good. And then finally, we have Miles Morales with the hoodie pulled all the way up to his nose. Now, this one's a little bit interesting. He has a changed leadership. He gets 30% attack and 10% chain hit, which is like whatever. But then his leadership applies to Spider-Man and increases all attack by 70%. Now, a lot of people saw this and said, oh my God, I can only use Miles Morales lead for Spider-Man Peter Parker. No, I think, and again, this may be a mistranslation or whatever, but I think that they're going to make this leadership apply to both Miles and Spider-Man Peter Parker, and maybe also Ben Reilly, who's technically a clone of Peter Parker. But anyways, I think it's going to apply to both Spider-Man because they are both Spider-Man, right? We've sort of talked about this before, and honestly, I think for Netmarble to do that and make that delineation and make Miles not Spider-Man would honestly not be the way that Marvel wants to go with this. So I think if they do make that mistake, they're going to go back on it because it's a very stupid thing to do. Otherwise, it kind of makes sense. Now, for those of you wondering, does Spider-Man have anything in this update? No, but also yes. Prepare your anuses because on the Japanese forum, which I obviously frequent a lot, they posted the patch notes, and the screenshots for the patch notes where they show updated content and whatever reveals accidentally, potentially, the next tier 4. So you see on this screen when they're talking about dispatch here, all you need to focus your eyes on is the character icon in between Black Bolt and the Hulk. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. That is Peter Parker Spider-Man, the OG Spider-Man, the most popular character in comic history at tier 4. So, yeah, if this is true, this is going to distract everyone from all of the downfalls and pitfalls and disappointments of this update. And unfortunately, it's going to be tough for me to fight that vibe. But I'm going to try. So yeah, tier 4 Spider-Man is semi-confirmed. I wouldn't take this as a full confirmation. But yeah, I would say this is semi-confirmed. And yeah, possibly that he's the mid-month tier 4. So as far as Miles Morales' passives and stats go, he does seem to be getting a pretty massive upgrade. Ignore dodge, lightning damage, guaranteed dodge. The 120 to supervillains is back. And then the skill damage, bonus damage. He gets silence, webbing, shock, frenzy buff. He gets immunity. He gets a 100% proc that you can pass with paralysis. And then he gets a 20% heal with 10 barrier for 5 seconds. Very, very nice. Short cooldowns for all 3 characters. They should be proc friendly, hopefully, but also they should be easy to play. Spider-Man Miles Morales' tier 3 is also quite juicy, where he drops a bunch of massive rebars and, like, I don't know what you call those, like steel towers down, and then he just electrocutes everything. It's called Cynicalex. It's a very cool tier 3 animation, one of the best we've seen lately. Very, very nice, very unique. I dig it. That's one thing they did right, and it also has accumulation. So after he pops his tier 3, he's going to do big boy damage, a la, you know, Captain Falcon, etc. And then Shadow Shell's tier 4, maybe the most pathetic tier 4 I've ever seen. When she uses the tier 4, she gets a 50% basic attack increase. Wow. And then, oh no, when she uses skills, she can buff her attack by an additional 30% that can stack up to 3 times to 90% for 5 seconds. She gets attack, and then she gets more attack. Wow, what a really impressive stuff here, guys. What a stroke of originality. We're gonna give you attack, and then we're gonna give you more attack. Wow. I guess they didn't want to screw with final damage anymore, because clearly they don't know how to balance their own game. So they decided to steer clear and go with something shitty and basic, like basic attack. But yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, this is the worst scaling type of buff in the game. Any other kind of buff, whether it's increasing your damage to supervillains, increasing your final damage, increasing your pierce, all that stuff is way better than this shit. So yeah, yeah. Kind of lame, to be honest with you, but who knows? She might still be broken. Again, it just looks bad on paper. And then here we go. This is the disappointment of the update, and this is the thing that I said the devs need to fix. And so I hope you will join me in yelling at the developers until they fix this, because this is honestly a slap in the face. Dispatch Sector 13. I had high hopes for this when they teased the release of this. It's finally here. I'm very excited. You're going to go to Asgard, so really cool zone. This is the hardest stage in Dispatch. This is, you know, it should be some of the hardest content in the game, right? When Tier 4s came out, they still took like a minute. Even if you have 3 Tier 4s, they can take almost a minute to solo, to run through one stage of Sector 12. So this is still pretty intense content, right? So Sector 13, it's going to be even harder. The rewards are going to be new and better, right? This is an absolute joke. This is, I really want to cuss and be like, this is just dog shit. And it is dog shit. This is beyond dog shit. This is one of the stupidest things they've ever done. They know full well that we don't want this. They 100% know that we do not want this shit. It is so goddamn obvious. You go over here and you see how the rewards in Dispatch go up. You go from Emkron crystals and Phoenix feathers to more tier 2 materials with Norn Stones of Chaos and Black Antimatter. Then you start building up to tier 3. My dude, Sector 6 and Sector 8 give Sector 6 and Sector 8 give these stupid rewards. Are you kidding me? Sector 6 and Sector 8. When did you... This is so bullshit. I'm not even going to sit here. This is so stupid, right? Sector 9 goes to like this, and then here we go to tier 3 more tier 3 materials, and then here we go to Celestial Essence. You're going up. This was a new material. You released this material, and you added it to Dispatch the next year. This was a new Dispatch sector with new materials. So in what mind, on what planet would you introduce another new Dispatch sector and go back to using old materials? This pisses me off so much. It's actually insane. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. This should obviously be tier 4 materials. It doesn't have to be all of the tier 4 materials at once, but it should be carbonadium or soul of the Faltine. That's it. That's it. Those are your only options. So I don't give a shit what they do next, but they have to fix this. It has to be this or this, and that's the end of the story. That's the end of the story. If they don't do that, they're stupid as hell. This is a complete joke. This is a complete joke. Like, it's a complete joke. It's a complete joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. We don't need it. We don't need it. Players who can clear Sector 13 do not need these items. They don't. Straight up. It's just useless. It's useless. You don't put old materials at the very top of the most difficult content. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It has to be tier 4 materials. I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear any. Listen, if you're typing up some excuse for the devs right now, just shove it straight up your ass. I don't want to hear it. I'm just going to roast the shit out of any clowns in the comments who, I'm not even going to waste my time. Honestly, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. I'm actually so mad. And I really hope that everyone else feels as angry as I do, because the devs need to know that this is unacceptable. Such a joke. Such a joke. It's so hard not to cuss, bro. It's such a joke. Anyways, this is the screenshot that the English patch notes posted. Obviously, no spoiler here for Tier 4 Spider-Man. They were smart about it, or smarter, or whatever you want to call it. And then yeah, they have some useless quality of life nonsense that no one gives a shit about, that they're gonna pat themselves on the back and be like, wow, we're so smart, we're so great. Yeah, whatever. They added an auto progress button for the text, so it'll cycle through without you having to click on it. The autoplay plus feature can be used without VIP 3 or 3-star clear in specific content. This is pretty much useless. And they did some other shit. Then they have the artifacts. Shadow Shell's artifact looks okay. It's, again, all these kind of mid. War Tigers increases his damage from supervillains and decreases damage received from supervillains. Again, sort of positioning him as the third pick for a PvP team, Warriors of the Sky. And then Miles Morales gets the super dodge that Spider-Man and Black Widow and Echo and a couple of other characters have. And it's called Exaggerated Swagger, which some people think is funny. It's kind of funny, to be honest. But at this point, after that rant, I just don't want to give the devs anything that they don't earn. Hand over fist. We have the new icons. Galactus looks really cool. Blue Dragon still has that weird-ass look on her face. Sky Kieran looks cool, to be honest. And then Crescent, I hate Crescent, straight up. So, yeah, that's a stupid icon. I don't care. New uniform collection, whatever, don't care. They added the skip button back. So this is wild. To add insult to injury, so they slap us in the face with the Dispatch Sector 13 rewards, and then they add back a piece of content that they had taken away. So for those of you that don't remember, you could skip the crafting results before, when crafting was first introduced. Then they were like, no, you guys are crafting too fast. So then they took it away. Now they're bringing it back. It's the classic Apple move. Oh, this is a brand new feature. What do you mean? We thought about this one. No, dumbasses. This was by default. This was in the original crafting. And then you idiots took it out like a year ago. And now you're putting it back in and trying to take credit for it again. Kiss my ass. I'm not giving you credit for this. This is how it should have been. This is how it should have stayed from the beginning. And then again, they just did a bunch of nonsense, garbage, quality of life stuff that no one cares about. Most of the things have to do with the shop and products. The marketing team having their little circle jerk orgy, whatever. And then yes, some game error fixes. Honestly, nothing really important here except that they addressed the remove active buff from target that Namor could use against World Boss Legends. So honestly, Namor might be a little bit weaker after this update. I don't mean to scare you guys, but yeah. I never addressed this in a video because for once I wanted to see the old truth of like, if I don't make a video about it, will they just leave it in the game? And no, they don't leave it in the game. So I don't want to hear anyone saying, oh, you revealed the bug, that's why they're gonna remove it. No, dum-dum, they remove it whether or not I make a video about it. So yeah, anywho, I'm still obviously really triggered about the dispatch thing. I just they need to change it. I will not accept anything less than them changing this shit. If they don't change this shit, I'm gonna be so disappointed with this game. This is a huge step backwards. At a time where I'm really reaching my limit with how greedy they can be, this is a massive step in the wrong direction. Massive step in the wrong direction. I'm not really sure. Like, I understand that tier 4 packs are selling well and they think that they can just keep milking that horse. I think you're going to piss players off to the point where they're just going to close their wallets, buddy. I'm not going to say that 7-letter word. I'm not going to say it, but honestly, you guys are playing with fire at this point. You're going to piss off too many players, and then you're going to have a shitty Quantumania update, and Marvel's going to come knocking and being like, what the hell are you guys doing? And then you morons are going to have to sit there and justify this shit to them, and you guys are going to look like idiots. So yeah, fix this shit before it's too late. Anyways, yeah, those are the patch notes. I'll still be live tonight for the update. For those of you guys wondering, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna avoid the update just because I'm pissed off. I will be here on YouTube tonight, live streaming this stuff, and yeah, let them know how you feel. I guess let them know on all social media. This is really what works, right? It's like a coordinated effort. So you don't just let them know in the comments down below in this video. You let them know on Facebook where other posts happen. You let them know on Twitter, right? You let them know on their YouTube channel, everywhere. So yeah, I'll do my part. You do your part. We got this. All right. That was like a high five kind of thing. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.